Hey everyone, Jason here, digital marketing consultant, and in this list growth guide, you're going to learn how to put together a fully functioning lead magnet funnel to, of course, grow your email list and eventually start selling your products and services. So timestamps below, along with some other helpful videos to actually building out some of the web pages we'll be talking about, as well as a video that goes through a bunch of different lead magnet ideas if the ones we talk about here don't seem to be a good fit for you and your business. So let's go ahead and jump right in. This is the funnel that we're going to be talking about putting together. It, of course, starts with the landing page where we're going to collect that email and name, then a confirmation page, and the most important part of this entire funnel, the lead magnet, the reason people are giving you their contact information, and we'll wrap up with how you can create a simple 5-email sequence to move people from the value that you've delivered in the lead magnet to seeing the value in your products or services, and of course, actually generating an income from your email list. After all, we don't just want to collect emails for the heck of it. You probably want to sell some product or services eventually as well. So let's jump into the very first part of this funnel, and it's actually starting in the middle with the lead magnet, because after all, we need to deliver something of value in exchange for that contact information. Simply asking for names and emails for the heck of sending emails later on probably isn't going to work out too well. So we're going to go through 3 solid different lead magnet ideas that you can use to attract new subscribers. And while there are a lot of different types of lead magnets you can make, I found that the 3 we're going to go over tend to perform the best. Now, of course, don't feel limited by these 3. There are lots of different types of lead magnets you can make. Link in the cards and the description to a video that walks through a bunch of other types of lead magnets, including some using Google Sheets or Excel, if that seems to be a good fit for you. So the very first type of lead magnet I want to talk about here is going to be the template. This has been one of our top performing types of lead magnets. And essentially what you're doing is you're starting to do the work for your potential email subscribers. Think of it as creating an easy to fill in the blank worksheet or document where they can actually follow along your process to achieve a specific result. Don't worry, we'll go through a couple of examples here. So going back to our diagram, you'll see that the landing page, confirmation page, and rapport building sequence, they all stay the same. So no matter what type of lead magnet you're using, the funnel structure itself is almost always going to look something like this. All we're doing is changing out the type of lead magnet that we are offering. So when it comes to creating an effective template, you want it to be very simple, user-friendly, of course have a clear layout, but the template should be based upon something that you yourself have achieved and that your potential email subscribers also want to achieve. So as an example here, we have the Tag Manager Playbook, which is an easy-to-follow worksheet that we've created for people who are trying to set up conversion tracking on their website using Tag Manager. So we have a bunch of fill in the blanks, and we also have some directions on how to properly install all of these conversion tracking and tags so people don't get lost and accidentally install the wrong tag in the wrong place, right? Another example we have here is one of our old lead magnets. We created a 7-page Google Doc that walked someone through all of the steps they needed to go through in order to set up their sales funnel, and included some copywriting formulas along with spaces for them to save their important information. And so this way we weren't able to actually build the funnel for them, but we were able to ease the burden of actually putting together the funnel and making sure that they didn't miss any steps, and of course help them with some of their copywriting, which we'll get to later here when we talk about what to do for your landing pages and squeeze pages. And the final example we have here is a video editing template. So what's nice about templates is they don't necessarily have to be a Google Doc or PDF. They can also be another file format. In this particular instance, let's say we were talking to video creators and we wanted them to join our email list. We could create some Adobe Premiere presets or some sort of graphic assets that they could download and use in Photoshop. So the sky really is the limit with templates, and I really like templates because they offer a tremendous amount of value in that they help someone immediately achieve a result, and that's what's really important with your lead magnets. You want the benefit of them to be immediate. So speaking of immediate benefits, the next one on our list is going to be an audit, and I really like audits, especially when you are generating email subscribers to eventually offer a service. And so what an audit is designed to do is magnify the mess of whatever problems they are dealing with. And going back to our diagram here, you can see that all we're doing is changing out the lead magnet. The rest of the funnel stays the same. Now, one of the powerful parts of an audit is it brings awareness to problems that your prospects or potential email subscribers may or may not have already been aware of, and it gives you the opportunity to help solve some of them. Now, obviously, you can't solve all their problems with a simple audit, but you can at least make them aware. And in some instances, depending upon what your service is, you can point to some problems that might take a little longer to solve, or you can point to things in their personal life or business and say, hey, you know what, if you don't take care of this now, it can actually become a really big mess in the future. And that leads me into example number 1 here, which is our Google Analytics audit. So we would offer this to potential analytics clients, and they would be able to go through their analytics account, see some settings that were a little off and some buttons that they just needed to turn on to actually collect data. And then towards the end of the audit, we would also start to point to some more advanced things that they wouldn't necessarily be able to fix in one sitting. Of course, they could fix it on their own, or they could hop on a call with us and learn how we could actually make sure that the incorrect settings or incorrect installs that they had didn't become a really big problem in the future. Now, the next example we have here is going to be non-business related, and that would be a diet quiz. So someone could go through a series of questions being asked about what time of day they eat, what type of food they eat, the amount of food they eat, and then they could get some sort of score at the end that would let them know some things, basic things they might need to change. And of course, this would be a great setup if you had some sort of diet or nutrition product or service. Now, there's one more type of lead magnet I want to talk about here, and of course, link in the cards and the description to a video that goes through a lot more ideas if you've gone through these two and you're like, yeah, and I don't think either one of those work for me. So this last one is going to be pretty hard to set up compared to some of these others, but it is very powerful, especially if you have some sort of digital product like an online course or monthly membership, and that's going to be a super specific video training. Now, I'm not saying webinar, I'm not saying video sales letter, I'm not saying launch sequence. I'm saying a super specific special training, 25 minutes max. So what you want to do with this is on the landing page, of course, you'll say, hey, I'll go ahead and join for this special training, and I'll get to the specific type of headline formula you should use on your landing page or squeeze page for this one. But what you want to do with this video, 25 minutes max, I'm going to keep saying 25 minutes max because it's really important that you keep it under 25 minutes, is you pull something out of your online course or your personal experience that you have learned as a result of going through achieving a result or hardship that your email subscribers are trying to overcome or achieve. And so it should be based upon your personal experience, because the last thing you want is someone to watch the video and then think, yeah, I could have just found that on YouTube, right? So that will not set you up for success with getting people to actually open your emails, and it won't set you up for success with actually getting people to purchase whatever your product or service is. So it is important. This is based on your personal experience, and it comes across as some golden nugget or secret. You don't have to worry about giving too much away in this video. And so that does it for the 3 best type of lead magnets I think to use when it comes to just growing your email list, and then of course beginning to start that sales process. But we'll get to that with the rapport building sequence. If you're still watching and getting some value, go ahead and hit that like button. Again, link in the cards in the description to a video that goes through a lot more lead magnet examples. Now it's time to talk about your landing page, because once you know what your lead magnet is, we need a place to collect the contact information before we deliver that lead magnet, right? After all, you can't grow your email list if you just send people directly to your lead magnet. And so for this particular example, I'm going to focus on a squeeze page, and really the main difference between a landing page and a squeeze page is just going to be the bullet points. And my humble opinion, you might have seen really long landing pages. You don't need to do that when you're just getting started and you're just trying to grow your email list. So here what we need on our squeeze page, and of course we need to grab some attention with a great headline and subheadline. We're going to skip the bullet points for now, but we do need an image of your lead magnet. That's very important. And then of course a clear call to action. So here's an example of what a squeeze page could look like. We see we have a clear headline at the top, how to grow your YouTube channel without getting lots of views, and then a subheadline here, get instant access to the complete YouTube growth blueprint so you can make 2021 your breakout year. And of course, we have a form where they can enter their name and email. Now, when it comes to your squeeze page, really you just want to focus on the headline and then have a great looking image of your lead magnet. And if you aren't a graphic designer, that's okay. I actually use Canva and PowerPoint for all of my designs. So you definitely don't have to learn Photoshop in order to make something that looks pretty good and decent. So links in the cards in the description to some Canva videos to help you put together your lead magnets, and of course the cover image or product image of your lead magnet. Now, when it comes to writing your headline, we'll go through two copy formulas. So this first copy formula will work for pretty much any type of template or audit that you're doing. The second type of formula is going to be perfect for the special training. So here we go. The first thing you need to do is ask yourself, what results are your ideal customers or ideal email subscribers trying to achieve? And then what's getting in the way? And that's it. So you take 20 to 30 minutes, just list them all out. Here's an example that you can follow as a guide. Let's say someone's trying to grow a YouTube channel. Well, the results they're after, they probably want to be full-time, wake up on their own schedules, maybe they get to travel, and then roadblocks, they need to get more views. They're not happy with how fast they're growing, and maybe they believe that they have to pay for views or improve their video quality in order to achieve the results that they're looking for. So here's the first headline formula I recommend using, and it's the how-to headline formula. We have how to, even if, without, or so you can. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to take your list of results and roadblocks and we're going to plug them into this formula, and that will be the headline on your squeeze page. And yes, it is this simple to actually grow your email list. You don't need a super fancy copywriting course. You can use basic headline formulas like this to actually get emails and grow your list. So let's go ahead and see what it would look like with our YouTube growth example. So we have a couple of examples here. You can always pause if you want to read all of them. I'm just going to read a couple. We have how to grow your channel even if you think your video quality stinks, or we have how to get more views to your videos without paying for views. So we're talking about a result that they want to achieve, and then we're removing some sort of roadblock or pain that they think they had to deal with or they think they had to overcome in order to achieve that result that they ultimately wanted. And so I highly recommend just spend another 20 to 30 minutes playing with this headline formula, and you're going to come up with at least one or two that you can use for your squeeze page. So using this example, this is what our squeeze page might look like. We could have how to get more sales even if you don't have lots of followers, and we have a very clear image of what the lead magnet is going to be. In this particular instance, it could be a special training. And then at the bottom, something I didn't talk about is if you don't already have testimonials for your lead magnet, all you need to do is go ahead and put a quick quote from yourself, because you're totally allowed to quote yourself, and put an image there, and it adds some credibility and some trustworthiness to the page, and just so people know who the page has been made by, and it will help increase your conversion rates a little bit just because there's a real live person on that page. Now, this next example we have here is how to create YouTube thumbnails without design experience. Again, we just have the same subheadline. You see, we're just changing it out a little bit. Feel free to copy that subheadline. And then we have thumbnail design for beginners, and that is a lead magnet image that was made in Canva. Again, link in the cards in the description to a video that actually walks through how to make designs like that. And finally, we have the fastest way to plan your content so you can focus on your business. And so you can actually start to modify this. Instead of just saying how to, could be the fastest way, the easiest way, and you can mix and match as many results and roadblocks as you'd like. And as you start to try out different squeeze pages and different lead magnets, you'll find the one that works best in getting you the most subscribers. Now, I quickly want to go over headline formula number 2, and that is going to be the allowed me to. So this works really, really well when your lead magnet is based upon your own personal experiences, results, or things that you've been able to do for clients or past students. And so we have allowed us to, me to, which is the most powerful one, or has allowed, insert the name of a group. So here are just another set of examples using the same example from someone trying to grow a YouTube channel. So we have the weird video campaign that allowed us to double our subscriber growth in 30 days, or the blueprint that has allowed thousands of small creators to go full time. And going to our example here, you can see it's the exact same layout. We're just changing up the headline. I'll link up in the cards in the description to a really in-depth video on how to use MailerLite to put together simple landing pages like this. But pretty much any landing page builder that you decide to go with will be able to create squeeze pages like these, and you don't have to be any more fancy than what you're looking at here. Sometimes actually adding graphics and adding text will actually lower the conversion rate of your landing page, and you wind up getting less email subscribers as opposed to more. So the less you can do on your landing page or squeeze page to grow your email list, the better. So if you're still watching, getting some value, go ahead and hit that like button. Now it's time to talk about how do we bridge the gap that now we've collected that email, you've delivered the lead magnet, and hopefully they've gotten a tremendous amount of value out of it. What do you do next with the email subscriber? Because after all, we don't want to just collect emails for the heck of it, right? There is a purpose, and the purpose is, of course, to eventually offer your products or services. And the way to do that, to bridge the gap between the lead magnet and whatever your offer is over here, would be with a rapport building sequence. And so here is a simple 5 email sequence that you can use that will automatically go out to people after they've received their lead magnet. And even if you don't want to follow this sequence, there are 3 things you want to do as soon as someone opts in. We are going to empathize, energize, and expand. We're going to empathize with their current experiences. We're going to energize them to take action and expand on the dangers of not taking action. That is, not trying to solve whatever problems or roadblocks that they currently have. And so here's the 5 email sequence. First, the first email goes out day number 1 immediately after they sign up, and it just delivers their lead magnet. Then for the next 4 to 5 days, they're going to receive 1 email a day. So the next email should talk about a big roadblock that might be in their way. Now, how do you know what roadblocks? Well, you already made a giant list of roadblocks when you're coming up with your landing page formulas. So all your landing page headline formulas. So all you need to do is choose one of those roadblocks that you've overcome, a previous client or student has overcome, or that you could write a case study about someone else overcoming that is a big, well-known person in your niche or industry. And so that's how you can get around if you don't necessarily have the experience yourself, or you're brand new and you don't already have clients and students to talk about. And you can do the same thing with the next email, which is a hero story of success. Now, with these first 2 emails, you just want in the PS section to mention that you have some sort of paid offer that they can go check out. You don't actually need to talk about the paid offer at all in any of the email copy itself. And then the next 2 emails, you can actually introduce the offer that you have for them and begin to talk about how you think it's going to help them overcome some roadblocks or achieve some results. And when you're thinking about these emails, please don't think of them as sales emails. Think of them like you're writing a podcast script or you're writing a blog post. So you don't want to do any hard sales. When it comes to email 5, 6, or 7, in the PS section, you can be a little more hard, but you never want to have someone reading one of these emails and feel like it's a salesy email, right? So using story is a great way to actually have people continue to be engaged with your emails, even if they don't wind up purchasing. And of course, there are lots of different ways you can set up these automations. Here's an example of MailerLite and another tutorial we have. So go ahead and check out the link in the cards in the description to a video that actually walks you through the technical side of setting all of this up inside of MailerLite. And of course, if MailerLite isn't a good solution for you, I also recommend using ConvertKit. So one of those 2 solutions will probably be a good fit for your business. And that does it for setting up your lead magnet funnel. We've gone through how to write the copy for your landing page or squeeze page, of course, choosing your lead magnet, and the 5 email rapport building sequence to bridge the gap between a new email subscriber and beginning to offer your products and services, your paid products and services. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more detailed funnel building videos just like this one and some shorter ones. And until the next, keep building the business you love.